up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are back to work on Lizzie as usual. Since the last video, we have gotten a fair number of new subscribers, so if you are new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you for taking the time to be here. My name is Marshall, and behind me is Elizabeth, our 1951 Dodge Coronet that is on a 2003 Ford Crown Victoria chassis that we've been doing a lot of work on recently. So one of the main things I've been working on that I will show you is the power windows. I have mentioned this just a tiny bit in a previous video. Unfortunately, I probably won't be able to show you the process of it just because I don't have a lot of time right now. We are building this car for Hot Rod Power Tour, which is coming up in about a month. So there is just some stuff that unfortunately I just can't very well take the time to film. I just need to get it done. So this has been one of those things. But let me show you how this works. So we have the stock controls from the Crown Vic. So you can see here, the button here. We've had the driver's side done for a while, but now, also from this side if I want, you can see the one over there. Passenger side works as well, which is nice. At some point, I still want to do the back windows. However, for the time being, they probably won't get done. But yeah. So that's kind of the main thing that I've been working on. But the next thing that I want to focus on is finally time for body work. I get asked the question a fair bit, am I going to paint the car? Sorry, it's dark. Let me get some better light here. Am I going to paint the car? The simple answer is no, I'm not. I love the patina. I don't intend to do a fancy paint job. I don't intend to repaint everything. I want to simply paint the areas that I have modified, both on the front fenders and the rear fenders where we widened them. So it's going to be the filler piece here, the fenders here, and then I still have a little bit of welding to do there. And then so we want to do the rear fenders here. I want to body work, especially these edges here, smooth them out nice. And then obviously the same thing on the other side and a little bit of body work along the bottoms. And that is really about the extent of it. And then the goal is to try to blend paint in as best we can with the time that we've got. I don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. I have a friend, thankfully, who is a body guy, so hopefully he can help me with the paint thing. So yeah, we're going to start with some body filler. We have some USC Duraglass, which is a fiberglass reinforced filler, which is waterproof. So we're going to start with that to get our edges and kind of the bigger imperfections. We're going to start with that, get that on, so that way it'll seal it up and hopefully keep stuff from rusting. Do that in the front and rear. And then I've got a lightweight filler that we're going to do over the top of that. I have not done a lot of body work, and so I am far from a professional. So I'm going to do my best. We're going to learn along the way, hopefully. And I'm not looking for perfection at all. I just want it to hopefully look better than what it is now. So I'm going to get some of this area cleaned up, get it all ready for the filler, and we're going to start laying down some filler. All right, so last night I got a coat of the Duraglass on pretty well everything. It's obviously a very rough coat. So we got it all along here, just to fill the major imperfections, fill any holes that we had. Same thing on this side. Then we had a seam along here from where we rounded the fender off, so kind of filled that. Did a little bit to fill the edge that we welded there. And then the filler pieces along there on each side. So now I am going to move the car outside and get my DA sander, and we're going to see how this stuff sands. Alright, so I have the first rough sanding done. We did, with the DA sander, did 80 grit, and it's still very rough, as you can see, which is fine. The goal is just to get basically the really rough stuff knocked down. Starting to get a little bit of a contour through here. And that'll obviously, with the next coats of body filler, is getting this a nice contour, smooth out the edges. Yeah, obviously does not look pretty at all yet. This side, I did do some scuffing on the door as well, just where there were really large areas of paint flaking off. So what I'll probably do is try to repaint at least part of the door, trying to blend that in. And then I kind of scuffed the most of this quarter panel as well. I think we may just try to repaint the entire thing, just because it had gotten scratched up enough from all the modifying we did on it. So yeah, probably repaint that. Started getting a decent little contour along there. So yeah, definitely a little tedious, but not too terribly bad. It's probably what I'm going to get done for now. I have to go to work, so I'll see you when I start again on this. All right, short break from doing body work. I pulled off the passenger side front fender. I had a hole here that I had never gotten around to filling. So yesterday I got it some patches made, welded in, seam sealed. So then we'll finish priming and painting this. Not the most elegant thing, but it's solid and it should keep out the elements. And I also primed and painted the fender supports here. So I figured while I had the fender off, I would show you guys because I hadn't really showed it very well before. So we have our main tube that runs to there. And then these odd octopus looking arms are where the plastic inner fender support, bolts go through the support and then up into here. I have nuts welded on the inside of these. So one there, and one there. And then you can see also, I had to relocate the fuse box. So this is the little bracket I made that bolts to that. So definitely not the fanciest or most elegant thing, but it does work. So yeah, got some primer and paint on this. That way hopefully it doesn't rust. We probably won't get the other side done for now, but I figured while I've got the fender off, I'll go ahead and do that. So time to throw the fender back on. All right, I got the fender back on the car. Got it all reassembled. So here's where I'm at with the body work. I still want to do a little bit of smoothing here. Then the rear fenders are coming along pretty well. See that side. Same things here. And like I've mentioned before, I am not going for perfection in the least bit. I simply want it to match the rest of the body. And same thing there. So I am pretty happy with how it's coming along. I think I'm probably going to be, I think I'm mostly done with the front fenders. The rear fenders, right in here, I need to do some more smoothing. This is where I had the filler door. So yeah, definitely more smoothing there. Some more sanding around this area and filling some minor imperfections here and over here as well. There's little scratches and stuff I want to smooth out a little bit better. Then hopefully pretty directly I can get paint matched to at least match this fairly closely, hopefully. So yeah, that's where I'm at with body work. Something else that I got done is we have 2 functioning wipers now. So it's kind of cool. They work with the Crown Vic switch. So I am using adjustable arms. They adjust from 10 to 14 inches. And for the wiper system itself, it is a kit from Specialty Power Windows. It's a cable drive system it's underneath the dash in here. Actually, let me pop the hood and I'll show you where we have the so that's where we have our wiper motor. It's actually the Crown Vic motor, so it plugs into the factory wiring, and I modified that to work with the wiper kit. So we have functioning wipers now, which is nice. What else? Yeah. It's kind of where I am at the moment. So a little more body work. And then hopefully before too long we can get some paint mixed up. Then we'll get these areas kind of blended in. What we might do, I'm not sure, maybe I had mentioned this before. I think the car may have been red previously, so we may spray some red first and then spray the paint and then sand off the paint in order to give it some patina, make it match. We'll figure that out. But yeah, I'm happy with how it's coming along.
One eternity later.
What's up, guys? I am on my way home from work. We are driving Lizzie. It's been about a month ago that I started filming this video, and a lot's happened in the last couple weeks. As you guys know, we were prepping for Hot Rod Power Tour, which we got done. I didn't film any of it all. Honestly, it was vacation for me, and I just didn't feel like filming. So Lizzie did absolutely amazing. We put on almost 1,500 miles. We went from, we started by driving from here down to Kentucky, up to Tennessee, back to Kentucky, had a stop here in Ohio, went to Indianapolis, Indiana, and then back home. So almost 1,500 miles. We had a couple of very tiny things, like one of the power windows stopped working, broke a little bit. A weld broke loose on a rear fender support. So very small things. So otherwise, Lizzie did absolutely amazing. We got a best of about 22 miles a gallon. It was as you know, we kind of ran out of time, so it was more or less kind of a major shakedown. Thankfully, we had some time to figure out some issues before we started the trip. But she cruises great down the freeway. We were doing 70 plus mile an hour. AC worked perfect. We had a lot of stop and go traffic. She did wonderful. I'm really impressed, really happy with her. It was a good time. We met a lot of cool people, saw a lot of cool cars. It was a fun time, very much so. So I'm finally back, and so I want to show you some of the work that we got done before we left. We more or less finished up most of the body work and did some painting and some other minor things. So I'll kind of show you, give you a recap, and kind of what I'll be back working on. Thankfully, now that my deadline is passed, I can slow down a bit, focus, and take some time on some stuff. Ton of stuff to do. So once I get home, I'll kind of yeah, show you guys where we're at on everything. All right, we are back home, and so here is where we are on Lizzie. So as you saw, we were doing body work. So we got that pretty well done. We got it primed, and we were not able to get some custom mixed paint in time. So what we ended up doing is my wife and I ran to Home Depot. We picked up some spray paint that we thought matched as close as we could. It is definitely not perfect, but it does match better than the primer does. So I don't know how close it'll look on camera, but so that's the front. And the back's turned out pretty decently. Everything smoothed out pretty decently. Thankfully, we're not going for perfection, so I was not too concerned about getting every little nick and scratch out of it. I think it matches better. So I'd say decent. On this fender, I ended up painting pretty well all of the quarter, just because the paint was pretty messed up. And so, excuse me, we did that. And the same thing here. So what I'd still like to do is, once we get some proper paint for this, I want to sand some of this back off, and then in areas where you can see it was like a maroon or red underneath, I would like to spray some maroon down first, spray the top coat of light gray, and then sand some of that off. That way we get a patina that matches. Probably do that on both front and back, so it kind of blends in. But yeah, all in all, at least for the time being, I'm happy with it. What else? We got a little bit of the trim put back on, the door trim. We got that on. We got the interior. We didn't do much. We did get the seats wired up, so they do work. We've got the lumbar there. Both sides work. The power windows I've had to redo. On this side we're all good. On the passenger side, I've had some issue with just the design, I guess, or the quality of the metal, I guess. And this side is currently broken. And what it is, I'll pull it apart and show you guys, but I have a little metal shaft that connects this gear to the gear in the window motor. And the metal shaft that I was using was just too soft of metal, and I've broken it a couple times on both sides. So on that side, I put in a hardened shaft from McMaster Car. So far, that one's been good. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side, and then hopefully that'll solve our window issues. So once I have this side apart, I'll show you guys kind of the design of that. But yeah, interior is, I think, pretty well the same. I don't think it really changed much otherwise. Still lots to do on the interior. I want to start working on door panels. I want to get a headliner in here. What else? Mechanically, really, the car has been pretty good. We did do an oil change finally before we left on the trip. But yeah, other than that, really no issues at all. Oh yeah, I do have to fix, I mentioned the rear fender support is just kind of floppy now. I have a little rod that the weld just broke loose in there, so that's an easy fix once we get to it. So yeah, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to be working on next. But yeah. All right, so this is what we've got going on. So we have the window motor from the Crown Vic that we built some custom mounts here, and then we're using the arm, and the mechanism here is all from the Coronet. And this is what we keep breaking. So this is an original gear from the Coronet, and we used this little round metal shaft and welded it there. And then I'll pull the motor off here and show you the mechanism inside of that. All right, so here you can see what the other side looks like. Get a pliers. All night? No. Yeah. All right, so then this was part of the gear that we'd harvested from the Crown Vic motor, and you can see, if it'll focus, we'd welded it on that end. So just, yeah, it turns out that the shaft I used was just plain too soft. We had them welded together like that. And then that simply engaged in the plastic gear in the motor. So, like I said, I've got a hardened shaft for that, which is right here. So we are going to get the weld ground off that gear and that gear, get this shaft cut to length, and weld it back together. All right, so we got this all welded back up. Moves nice and freely. The gear welded there. Got it welded on the back side. So now I'm going to get the motor bolted back on, and we're gonna throw this thing back in. All right, so we got everything bolted back in, and so now push the switch. All right, got to bolt the speaker back in, and then we'll be good there. So we'll see if this holds up. Hopefully with that hardened shaft it should, but who knows? If it doesn't, I guess we'll come up with something else. Something I did forget to mention that we have ordered are new window channels. Let me put the window back up here. Our new window channels, the seals that run along the window here. One of the biggest things that we ran into on the trip was just wind noise around the windows. Obviously the seals are 70 years old, so they just leaked. So that was the biggest thing that we dealt with. So I have the window channels on order, enough to do all 4 windows. So once those come in, I'll show you how those go in. I don't really know exactly. I guess we'll figure it out. So yeah, we'll see how long these windows last. And yeah, I don't know. That might be all we get done for this video. We'll see once. All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up with that for this video. The new window channels did show up today for the car, so that will probably be in the next video. So as always, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.